Bitcoin is back at $100,000. Is this a fake out or the beginning of the next massive move to new all-time highs? Watch until the end of the video to find out. May is looking bullish for markets, especially the crypto market. Bitcoin has made a strong push to 100K, but it seems to be finding resistance at the same place it was finding resistance at the beginning of the year, which means that we can still grind slightly higher from here, but with the daily RSI in overbought territory, I think we're due for a correction soon. But if we can hold above 95,000 to 100,000 and turn old resistance into new support, then we will go way, way higher. A lot of good news is also coming back into the markets. So sentiment is starting to turn around. In Trump's recent press conference, he expresses his bullishness on the market and says now is the time to buy. Now let's get into the video.
These trade deals that we're doing, this country will hit a point that you better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up.
Tariffs are a big part of the economic outlook in the short term. I think Trump has more trade deals on the way, but the UK deal was big, and I think that was just the first of many, and the markets seem to be happy about it. Now let's see what else comes of the whole trade wars. Let's get back into the video.
The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports.
I am outside the White House where Donald Trump just announced a trade agreement with the United Kingdom. It's the first trade agreement that he's announced since he started implementing new tariffs and really upended U.S. trade policy.
They're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that.
The deal is not finalized yet, but the details that we're getting from the Trump administration and Downing Street in the UK is that this will lower tariffs for the United Kingdom on certain goods. So, for example, ethanol, steel, and things the United States wants or ships to the UK, the tariffs will be lowered. There was a 25% tariff on autos, but that will be lowered to 10% for the first 100,000 cars the UK exports to the United States.
We've agreed to let Rolls-Royce engines and those kind of plane parts to come over tariff-free. And what you're going to hear today is there's going to be an announcement in the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes.
It appears to have been arranged very hastily. They talked about how Donald Trump made a final last-minute call last night to Keir Starmer.
In the end, it comes down to,
as you say, Donald, economic security is national security. On national security, we've been absolutely
the closest of allies.
The 10% baseline tariff that Donald Trump has implemented across the board for all countries is staying in place for most goods.
That's a low number. They made a good deal. Some will be much higher because they have massive trade surpluses.
This upcoming weekend, all eyes really are going to be on how these talks go with China and Switzerland. It's the first time that the major leaders of the U.S. and China have gotten together, and the idea is that these guys are going to talk about the trade war that has escalated and is resulting in more expensive consumer goods for Americans.
Now, even though the market is optimistic about the trade deals, the Federal Reserve is not, and they still seem uncertain. And Jerome Powell has expressed that at the latest FOMC meeting, saying that they're going to keep rates steady and that they are in no rush to cut rates and are waiting for more clarity from the trade deals and tariffs before they lower rates, even though inflation is just above 2%, down from last month's inflation print, and unemployment is steady, and the central banks around the world are already cutting rates.
In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. The risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation appear to have risen, and we believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic development.
In spite of the Fed refusing to cut rates, the M2 money supply is still pumping, so it doesn't really matter what the Fed does. Bitcoin is a global asset, so it follows global liquidity. Let's watch Colin Talks Crypto break it down in this next video clip.
Congratulations on hitting $100,000 today. The bears have been wrecked. The bears have been sidelined, and just does not get more bullish than this. We are above all key support levels. There is zero bearish about this chart. We have this global M2 line that has not stopped. It has just gone vertical, and this is historical data pushed forward. So it's already happened, and Bitcoin, like some kind of prophecy, is playing out the moves of this global liquidity that is finding its way into risk assets.
To sum it all up, my outlook is bullish. I think this is not a fake out. I think it's a breakout, and I think Max Payne has come and gone. The market sentiment will get better and better with every new trade deal, and the Fed will have to make a move soon on interest rates. And global liquidity keeps rising higher. The macro outlook is bullish. But what do you think? Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, subscribe to the channel. And if you have anything to add to the conversation, comment down below.